If you're thinking about moving from New York City to Long Island, especially the North Shore, this video is going to give you clarity that most buyers don't get until after they've already moved. I work with buyers every single year, relocating from Manhattan, Brooklyn, and Queens to towns like Port Washington, Manhasset, Roslyn, Great Neck, and I can tell you this confidently. The people who are happiest after moving from the city to Long Island are the ones who understood the lifestyle shift before they signed a contract. So if you're serious about relocating intelligently and not emotionally, make sure you subscribe right now, because this channel is entirely focused on hyper-local, data-driven breakdowns of Long Island towns, pricing, taxes, and relocation strategy. No fluff, just clarity. And if at any point during this video you realize that you want help navigating the move, reach out. I can certainly help. And my contact information is below. So let's get specific. What actually changes when you move from the city to Long Island? When you leave New York City, you're not just upgrading square footage. You're shifting from vertical living to horizontal living, shared maintenance to full responsibility, subway spontaneity to commuter scheduling. We're talking about walkable density to car dependency, and most buyers focus on space. Long-term satisfaction usually depends on lifestyle fit though. And if you've been in a condo or co-op for 10 years, you may not realize how frictionless your life has been. No roof to think about, no boiler, no snow removal, no drainage issues, no sump pump. And when you move from the city to Long Island, autonomy increases, and so does your responsibility. If you've already started browsing homes on Zillow and haven't thought about the shift, pause. This is the moment to think bigger than square footage. Housing reality on the North Shore, let's talk about the specifics. If you're moving from a 2-bedroom in Chelsea, a brownstone in Park Slope, or a condo in Long Island City, your mental model of house may not match the North Shore reality. So Port Washington, in the 1.1 to 1.6 range, most homes are 3 to 4 bedrooms, 1,800 to let's call it 24 square feet in that range. So you're looking at split levels, capes, or traditional colonials. The property taxes typically range from $15,000 to $22,000, depending on which section you're in. Manor Haven feels different from Salem. Beacon Hill feels different from Port Washington North. Flood zone pockets matter near Manhasset Bay. If you want a deeper breakdown of Port Washington specifically, I have full town videos on the channel. Make sure you check those out after this one. So in Manhasset, under $2 million, you're looking at mostly colonials ranging anywhere from, we'll call it 2,500 to 3,500 interior square feet, with larger lots in Muncie Park and Strathmore, where property taxes are frequently between, we'll call it 22,000 and 30,000, depending on the house. Plandome Manor introduces a higher tier. Flower Hill has its own tax implications. Manhasset carries a pricing premium tied to schools, school perception, and long-term stability. If you're comparing Port Washington and Manhasset right now, drop a comment below and tell me which one you're leaning towards. Great Neck. Great Neck is structurally different. You have, in comparison to these other towns, you have co-ops, condos, single-family homes, and a few multifamily homes. And it's a complex village structure with school zone nuances that matter significantly. This market requires precision. Assuming that all North Shore towns are interchangeable is one of the biggest mistakes that NYC buyers make. So let's talk about the commute. What's changed and what hasn't. So if you're moving from New York City to Long Island and commuting back into Manhattan, this is critical. The Port Washington branch is one of the Long Island Railroads, which is one of the most desirable lines on the North Shore. It's electric, it's direct, and since the opening of the Grand Central Madison line, it now runs to both Penn Station and Grand Central, which is huge depending on where you work. That is a major quality of life upgrade, especially if you work on the east side. If you're Midtown East, the Park Avenue corridor, Grand Central access can eliminate crosstown transfer and save you 15 to 25 minutes each direction, and that adds up over time. So from Port Washington, the ride time is generally 35, 45 minutes. Peak trains typically run every 30 minutes. But here's the local truth. If you live by the schedule, if you're in Manor Haven catching a 7:42 train and you're leaving around 7:25, you miss it, you wait. The Manhasset station parking fills early during peak hours. Great Neck, it's more of the same, so you have to plan for parking. If commute flexibility is a big factor for you, that's something we walk through in detail with clients before they choose a town. And if this is the kind of nuance that's helpful and is exactly what you're looking for, that's what this channel is built for. So make sure you subscribe right now so you don't miss out on future breakdowns. So we'll talk about property taxes because that's one of the biggest adjustments. This is where many New York City buyers experience their first reality check. When moving from the city to Long Island, you're adding property taxes that often range from $14,000, $18,000, and sometimes way more. In Port Washington sections, $20,000 to $28,000. In a lot of Manhasset, you might see more in Roslyn estates, and the taxes increase over time. And then layer in homeowners insurance, landscaping, snow removal, water bills, heating, oil, gas, roof replacement planning. Owning a house is financially very different from owning an apartment. And before you fall in love with a home, understand the full carrying costs. If you want help running a realistic number for your situation, that's a conversation that we can definitely have. So the lifestyle shift most people don't talk about in New York City is that life happens outside your door. On the North Shore, life requires more planning. You're going to have to drive to activities, to restaurants, to the kids' sports practices, social events, and the trade-off is what you will get is quiet, privacy, a yard, school stability. Some families thrive in that shift, and some quietly miss density. The happiest relocation clients that I've worked with were the ones who understood the shift before they even moved. And that's part of what's important for a consultation with us. And if you're watching this and thinking, that's exactly what I'm weighing right now, you're asking the right questions. So who should move from the city to Long Island? So you'll likely love the North Shore if you want long-term space stability. Schools are a top priority. If you're ready for full home ownership responsibility, you prefer structured pace over constant motion, and you may struggle if you rely heavily on walkability, you dislike driving, you underestimate the cost of maintenance. And look, there's no right answer. There's only fit. So my final thought is that if you're moving from the city to Long Island, especially the North Shore, the smartest move isn't rushing, it's understanding. Understand your commute tolerance, understand your tax comfort range, understand your maintenance appetite, and understand your personality fit. Port Washington is not Manhasset, Manhasset is not Great Neck. These micro markets are distinct, and if you want help identifying which North Shore town aligns with your commute, finances, and lifestyle, it's not just about the rankings, it's about you. Feel free to reach out and we can have that conversation. And if this video gave you clarity, subscribe. I publish hyper-local, data-driven Long Island breakdowns weekly for buyers relocating and for even people that live right here on Long Island. I'll see you on the next one.